Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Rice, the founder of blackartseducation.com, and I am here with the amazing, outstanding Christian Magby. He is in the movie that is streaming now on Amazon Prime, One Night in Miami, directed by Regina King, and starring some amazing folks, Leslie Odom Jr. and Christian Magby. But and he is just he's a musician, he's an actor, he's a writer, composer. So we're gonna catch up with Christian and talk about his journey. So welcome, Christian.
Hey, what's happening?
How's it going?
It's going pretty well. It's going pretty well.
I would say so. It's going pretty well.
It's so crazy because we shot it about a year ago. Um, like definitely a year ago. Yep, I was in New Orleans this time last year, and I saw it in September. But like the fun is really is in the work. And so when you're done shooting it, it's just like, oh, okay, well, I miss working with that character. But
Right.
it's so crazy because with everyone, actually seeing the film, it's almost like I'm reliving that entire experience all over again. So like looking through all the pictures we took and just what I'm like, oh, it's just so weird to be back like in that place again. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
a cool feeling.
Awesome. So tell everybody the character that you play in the film.
So I play Jamal, who is a Nation of Islam guard for Malcolm X, and he's smart. He's smart, but he's learning along the way. So yeah, that's his journey, and he shares some interesting perspectives on his journey through being in the nation with the group. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so for our people that are watching, I don't know if you ever been to an event, where Minister Louis Farrakhan is gonna be there or not, but those bodyguards in Nation of Islam, they don't play, y'all. They do
Yeah.
not play. However, Jamal is a different character. You have got to watch the movie to find out what I'm talking about.
Oh man.
It's
He,
true. No, it's
he's
true.
learned, and no, he'd be ready. If something popped off, if something really popped off, if something. Now there was one time it did pop off, and he was like, "I'm here, but I think you got it, brother Kareem." But he was there. He was there, and that's what's important.
Exactly. Exactly. So for people who don't know, I don't know who doesn't know about it yet, but somebody might be out there, they don't know about it yet. So just a quick synopsis of what the film is about. From
Oh
your
yeah, yeah. From
yeah, from
me.
your perspective.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I don't want to mess it up. What it's about. So yeah.
Definitely. So One Night in Miami is about Cassius Clay, Malcolm X, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke, who are all really great friends, which is always shocking to everyone. Like I knew of a couple of the friendships, but all of them, I think, it's so invigorating. And on the night of Cassius's win with Sonny Liston, they all spend that evening together. But so much transpires in conversation with them, and it's an unforgettable night. It is definitely an unforgettable night.
Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, I hope everybody watches this because it gives us a different perspective on these, icons, and just goes into their personal thoughts as they, we see them as just like all these leaders who are always just on ready doing whatever it is they do, but this really taps into their humanity, um,
Absolutely.
and things that they were struggling with as they were, facing their work.
Hmm.
So you
And
were,
I think that's what's so interesting about them. It's like we've all seen them or heard about them in their own entities, but to see them, and to have that brotherly relationship with each other, and to see how that actually, how what they learn from each other. I think that's what's so interesting, and that's the side of, then we see the sides of them that's not commercial. You know,
Yeah.
then we see the sides of them that's not with their wives or their loved ones. It's them being their authentic selves with each other, and I think that's what's so cool about it.
So, you were directed by Regina King in
Yeah.
this movie. So, yeah. So, hey, let's compare some notes because I recently got to work with her, maybe like the previous year.
Yeah.
So, I found her to be, just as amazing as
Oh, that's
everybody
dope.
else she is. So, tell me about your experience with.
Yeah. It's just as incredible as it sounds. I met her at my work session that I had for it in LA. And then I didn't see her again until my first day of work. And she was one of the first people I had like seen when I got there. And I get a knock on my door, and I open it, and it's one of the PAs. She's like, "Hey, Christian, Regina's outside. She just wants to say hey." I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, well, come on in." And she's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey." And she welcomed me to the family, and I had a really nice card waiting for me, and it was just it was something where I knew I was going to be learning something every step along the way, whether I'm being used in this shot or not. I'm like going to be learning something. And the interesting thing is, anytime they're in the room, I'm outside. So
Mhm.
just even listening or being able to see a monitor, I know, like, hearing them live in that every time, was just, and these are long takes, and because
Yeah.
and just to hear them chew through that dialogue, and every time it just felt different. Every time I heard another point of view, it's just like, oh, well, that's pretty good too. Oh, well, that's pretty good too. So then by the time we got to actually shooting our reactions outside, it was just like, no, I remember what he said. No, I remember that too. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think one of the things I love about working with Regina is that she get not only did she share her vision with us, she gave us room to share with her the things that we had developed and the things that we thought about. She let me try anything. She let me know she didn't like it, but she let me try. She let me try anything, and I think that was one of the things I absolutely loved working about with her.
I like it. I like it. And so, one thing I learned about her, working with her, is like she loves music,
Oh yeah,
and so that was just like, oh my gosh, yes. So,
and yeah, and I can almost kind of hear it in the soundtrack. It's just like, oh, okay. It's like I see what you wanted there. I see what you wanted there. Her and Terrence Blanchard were in great conversation. I think about that. It's just it sounds very organic, to what's going on in the story with the piano score.
yeah, yeah. And so, speaking of music, which is a subject that's near and dear to you, what was it like? I know what it was like for me watching your character in that room, just me knowing you. And
Hmm.
there's, lots of moments, but I guess maybe the first one when I saw like you're in the room with all of them, the main characters. And
Hmm.
it's like, oh my gosh, like that is just like who you want to be. And there's this moment where you're encountering Leslie Odom Jr.'s character, and for me, the music geek, I kind of stepped outside the movie and I didn't see him as, the Sam Cooke. I was like, so I'm wondering, like, did you have that experience? Not Jamal, but Christian.
Oh,
Work.
definitely. So that's actually the first person I met. Was when we got picked up from the hotel in the morning, and then Leslie got in, and we talked the entire way there. It's about a 40-45 minute drive from the hotel to set.
And so now you was in the car, in the van or the car, whatever you were with, riding down the
Yes,
road with Leslie.
yes.
Okay.
And the interesting thing was I didn't know who was in the movie until the day before. So I'm on the way to the airport when I got a text message from our second AD. And he said, "Hey, Christian, it's Kevin, second AD for One in Miami. Your pickup time will be 5:25 a.m. You'll be riding with Aldous Hodge and Leslie Odom Jr." I said, "What? I'm riding with who? I've been where?" You know. And so it was definitely a surreal experience. I was just like, wow, it's just like these two guys who I've watched for years of just being able to work with them and learn from them in that capacity. Not even from the like, oh, it's like I'm looking at you, but I'm like, no, I'm learning from being able to work with you. So yep, me and Leslie talked for about the whole ride there. It was very, very like insightful and he's got so much going on, and so that's what's so exciting. Yeah, Leslie's really cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that he was going to sing like live, like when we were shooting and stuff. I didn't know how that worked all the time because it's almost impossible, to do with that. But so I didn't know what my experience was going to be with that. And I think maybe it was sometime within that first week, and me and Lance are sitting there, and we thought it was a recording. We thought they kept playing a recording, and it was him playing the guitar, and actually singing. I was like, well, damn! It was absolutely incredible. It's just like, and then Lance was like, "Yo, I've got to get a picture. My wife is going to be mad if I don't get a picture with him." And that was Lance. And it was such a surreal experience. We love to me, Lance, and Leslie always like to bond over Aaron Neville stories.
Do tell.
We did impressions. I don't think we were that great at them, but
It's a unique voice.
Oh, and just like the river I've been running.
I mean,
yeah, we didn't do it as great. We didn't do
okay,
it
go
as
on,
great.
let me hear it. Go on, let me hear it. Go, let me hear it.
Huh?
Go on, let me hear it.
This is good as I got. This is good as I got.
Wow, yeah. We are Black Arts Education, and so the purpose of our platform here is to introduce people to programs and training from the Black perspective. So I want to, let you talk about your training in theater and all things arts and how'd you get started?
Yeah, so I started with the Youth Ensemble of Atlanta. That what I would say my like true start is. I did some stuff in like elementary school, like our school plays and stuff, but where that training really started was at YEA. And I started there as a regular ensemble member. It took me about a year till they start putting me in them shows. But but I wanted it. I wanted it. I was like, no. I want to do what all these other kids were doing. It wasn't hard. I just knew I couldn't do it. And so, but I wanted to do it. So my very first show was Urban Soup 2006. I had been there almost a year at that point. And I was in Oh Holy Night, which everybody was in. I was in the aisle for the opening, which is where they put the people in the dark. And I was I was in changes at the end. But this is where it gets interesting. I had one scene in this. Oh, it was this. It was Christmas in Jamaica that Sinatra had written, I believe. And if not Sinatra, it was Michael Harris, or both. And
Now he's talking about Frank Sinatra, y'all. You gotta break this down for people.
No, not Frank Sinatra. Although that would be very, very interesting. I would love to see what he would write for YEA. Um,
You didn't
fly me to the moon. And I think my line was tree hole. What did I say? Oh, nope, that was Camille's line. I can't even tell you what my line was, but I had one line and it made people laugh. And I said, I liked the way that felt. And it was just like, okay, so by that next Urban Soup, I'm only doing it to make people laugh at that point. And so I think it was very exciting to grow with YEA. Learn definitely learn more about my voice there. Learn more about dancing. Not going to say I picked that up very well, but other people can pick that up very well. Jordan Rice can pick that up very well. Um, and yeah, and then even while I was with the company, I started music directing. I had never really music directed before, unless it was mine. But opportunity like called. I was the only one there to do it. I was like, well, I know how to play the songs, and I know what the notes sound like to teach the vocal parts. And in the event I need to write it on sheet paper, sheet music, I might be able to do that. Well, let's give it a go. But I had only learned how to do that stuff for myself. And so it was really a blessing to actually see that no, this is actually going to be the other half of what pays my bills is
Mhm.
music. And so I think that's one of the other loves I found about YEA. I say one of the biggest things about YEA is that everybody's not going to leave there a performer, but everybody will leave with the truest version of themselves.
Mhm.
Because that's what you find there. You're gonna find out if you're good enough to do this there, um, and then you can stick around as long as you want. We got ensemble members almost 30 years old, um, and so yeah, it's definitely home.
Yeah, awesome. I remember like when Jordan first went there, and she's, so much younger than everybody else at the time. And on the music day, she was
Mm-hmm.
like, Christian was there today, and oh my gosh, we was just singing, and this is during the time like she would not sing in front of other people, but YEA really brought that out of her, and
Uh,
you really had so much to do with that because she loves acting, like the theater part, that's her thing, and the dance, that's her thing, and the singing, it was like, yeah.
the sing is that thing now. I saw that last Urban Soup. That was Jordan Urban Soup. That was Jordan Soup.
Thank you. Yeah, she's been working on it, but she, there it's just priceless. What YEA, the training is like. I can't even describe it. It's not just the instructors, but it's everybody, the members, everybody teaches
Right.
everybody, and
Mm.
I mean, the bond that you guys have is amazing, and like, wow, I wish there was a YEA when I was, a kid. So
Oh man, absolutely. I'm excited. I'm excited for when everything picks back up and to see where it's going to be. Because we've been in talks about how we can continue to invigorate and challenge all of the ensemble in more ways. Just besides not in addition to what we already have, what else
mhm,
can we do? What other styles can we incorporate? Like ballet as a regular thing, I think would be like really cool or semi-regular. We ain't gonna do it all the time, But yeah, absolutely. I'm thrilled with everything that YA has done, and I can't wait to see what else is in store.
yeah. So for everybody that's watching, if you want to know more about YEA, we have information about it at blackartseducation.com. So go there and go to the theater section, and boom, bam, you get what you need. Um,
Now you make
so
sure you copy and paste this and send it to Debbie so she knows we did our part.
exactly right. Because you know what would happen if we don't.
I didn't say nothing on there about YEA. I'm like, yes, we did. Oh no, my favorite was so when we sang "Give" on Atlanta and Company.
Uh-huh.
She was like, y'all didn't say nothing on there about YEA. It was the video that was getting passed around, which was just of the song. I said, "Oh no, you don't." I went and I found the show clip, the one that was on the website, which was extended. It was a whole lot of YA. I was like, "Oh, you're not gonna do that to me."
Come with your bases, Christian. See, that's what's up. You got to keep those bases covered.
Yeah, you keep the receipts. I was like, "No, I did my part. I represent my humble."
All right, so Debbie Barber, you hear everything's going good, right? Okay, so we're gonna move on because if I talk about you a little bit longer, I'm about to charge you, Debbie Barber. But oh man,
Oh man.
so tell me, how is your character in the film like Christian Magby? What do y'all have in common?
Oh, I would say at the time, fresh. I think that was the thing, is that Jamal was very fresh to the experience and looking at things through very open eyes, very, very starry-eyed, and just very excited to be there. And so was Christian. Christian was like two completely different moments for two completely different reasons. But it was just like, man, that was our biggest thing in common. Was just like, I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so blessed to be working with these people. And I think that was the biggest thing that we had in common. It was just like he just wanted to know more. That was the whole reason he went into the room. He wanted to know more all the time. It's like what's some more information like that I can like observe. I was the same like in that way. It's just like, oh, let me. I would just listen to rehearsals. It's just because there's a pattern and there's such a Kemp writes such an in-depth script. It's you can always hear these different points of view. Every time I've seen it, I kind of agree more with somebody else than I did the last time that I saw it. I only saw it like 3 times, but maybe 5. But yeah.
Okay, it's a movie worth seeing a bunch of times. So, who is the funniest person in the cast, like in real life?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Are you ready for this? Are you
No,
ready
but
for this? Lance Reddick.
seriously?
Yes, the guy that plays Brother Kareem. We have about everything. He has the funniest story. And like, we all the time together. Yeah, Lance Reddick is definitely the funny, the funniest person.
Wow, that's cool. See, never would know that, but that's pretty cool. I do have no, you want to give us some more details on that or no?
Oh, I don't have any, but I also spent most of my time with Lance.
Yeah.
So, like, I saw him every day, but we were always like together. So we made each other laugh for days. I have pictures that I'm going to post at some point of us trying to take a picture, and then he's telling a story, and my face just it's. I tried, but he's just a really really funny guy.
That's the kind of stuff that makes, set life, really great, when you gel with the people that you're working with. That's really cool. So tell me, I guess you say she's so nosy, but
Absolutely.
right. So what do you have any, projects that you can share about what's up next for you?
I can tell you something that I worked on recently, which was I was the music assistant for Dear Evan Hansen, the musical movie, which was a lot of fun.
That's what I'm
Yep,
saying.
we filmed it in Atlanta. We filmed it in Atlanta. It was from about August, late. I worked on that from about late August to think we wrapped November 21st. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And to have all the musicals that I was doing that year be canceled, I was just, oh my gosh, this is the musical that I've been like so blessed to be able to work on. And it was, oh, I workshop one too, but like to be able to like work on this show that I've seen and grown up with and watched in this capacity was pretty great. And to be able to work alongside Benj and Justin and Alex Lackamore, it was really, really great. It was cool.
Man, you are living the life. I just want you to know, the rest of us and Disney going on, and you are living the life. That is so great.
Well, it's definitely not lost on me. That how blessed I am to be like working at this time, and so it's I'm so excited to find ways I can include others in it and create opportunities for other people when I can, and definitely things like that.
Well, we love to see you shine because some of that light's getting. I'm like, yes, keep it coming. So we love it, love it, love it.
Appreciate it.
Now, I have a question because I did something I haven't done before, which is I looked up your resume, right? Because I was like,
Uh-oh.
let's see if I can learn a little more about Christian, right? And there's all the this man, people, he has been in, I mean, he's like a regional theater star. If you're in Atlanta, you've seen stuff he's in, or you might have been in something he wrote or did, you don't know. But I kept on, I was looking down, okay, this film, then all this stuff, he's been on the CW, and he's been he worked on Pitch Perfect 3. You didn't see him, but you heard his work,
Very scared for what's going to pop up.
It's the special skills, right? And it says, blah, 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 a bunch of stuff I think I know already. And then perfect pitch.
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready for a challenge.
All right. So now you can't, it's Black Arts Education. So I got to talk to the people now. People, now actors do not go in there with stuff on your resume that you don't know how to.
Oh yes. Oh, this is learning. Oh, this was so exciting. I was like, well, I think I do have a driver's license.
Yeah, I saw that on there too. The perfect pitch. So we're going to see just how perfect Christian's pitch really is. Okay, I'm using my little keyboard on my phone. So here we go.
Ready. It's an F.
Yes, it is, people. That was an F. Yes, I don't know. Let me give you another one. We're going to do a couple more, see how this goes.
Cool. It's a D.
It's a D. Oh my gosh. I'm getting angry now. Okay. Now I got to make this a little bit harder. Here we go.
Right. I'm going to have to go with a B flat.
How did you do that? It was B flat, everybody. He's got
it's so crazy. That's kind of how I learned to play, and it's because I knew what things sounded like, and it was like, oh, okay, well, and that was how, before I ever kind of learned to read music, it was just like, well, no, this kind of sounds like this, to the point where I couldn't even play things in a different key. It's just like, no, this is the key I heard it in before I like learned how to transpose myself. But that's how I learned how to play from YEA. And I'll never forget the first time I played something for YEA. We were just playing around. This is back in the days where I wasn't allowed to touch the keyboard. They had just got that motif. Kyle say, don't touch my keyboard. And you don't touch it. Man, what fear. And and I remember one day I was just playing around. This is 2008. We were in rehearsal for Endangered Species, and Art Bright Jr. Had just start coming in to like play around, and would bring his little drum set. It's about three, maybe it's probably about 3 pieces, and I forget how. If I was 13, Art had to be younger than like 9, like 10 or 9, maybe 9. and I just started playing African American Girl, which was one of the songs in the show, on the piano, and Art jumped in, and then he was like, "Oh, look, they're playing!" Yeah. And like people started singing along. It's like, oh, and I was like, I'm playing it right, very modified, but I'm like, oh, okay, people are singing along to something I'm playing, and I was
Yeah.
like, I got it. I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna keep doing stuff like that. Which is why I've like most of the songs and stuff that I've written have only been like musical theater songs. There's something about telling a story uh, live that I just think is so and precious, and you can't get that, everywhere. You really can't get that everywhere now. I can't get it anywhere, but but I'll be excited for when it pops back up. Definitely, we ready for it. We're hungry for it. It's definitely our way of life. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that is so cool. Christian, it's just been so great, catching up with
Definitely.
you. We haven't seen you since this pandemic, and so wow, this is wonderful. So proud of the work that you're doing.
Thank you
Um,
so much. Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to more. Tell people where they can follow you on social or how they can, reach
Yes,
you.
you can follow me on the Instagram at Christian Magby, Magby. It's spelled right this time. It used to be spelled incorrectly. I did it. I was a sophomore in college. I had just created it, and I made it Mr. Magby to you. But the Magby was spelled differently, and I had a number two. It was one of those like stupid things you create when you first like create Instagram. And I will never forget, I was on Fox 5 for Freaky Friday. And I was like, they put Magbee. And then I saw it that way on so many other things. I was like, okay, we're going to change that. I can't even justify why I did that. Like that's how bad that was. But now you can follow me at Christian Magby, ChristianMagby.
That is such a great story. And the Mr. Magby to you was like seared in my brain. I mean, I knew that wasn't the way you spell your name, but I knew that was your IG handle, right? And so about a week ago, a few days ago, I was trying to find Mr. Magby, and it would come up. I think it was when I first heard about the movie and I wanted to, put a shout out, and I couldn't find it. And finally, I was like, Jordan, what is Christian's Jesus? I can't find Mr. Magby to you. So everybody, don't look for Mr. Magby to you. Although he is Mr. Magby to you, right?
But it's so funny. I never go by like, even if I'm teaching at a high school. Oh, I hate it. I hate any kind of Mister. That's why I said I literally cannot justify that Instagram handle for 7 years at all.
So tell us one more time, because I don't want them to get confused looking for Mr. Magby to you.
Absolutely, you can follow me right at my name at Christian Magby.
All right, everybody, that's the way to do it. Simple, so we all know what we're looking for. I'm Dana Reigns for blackartseducation.com. Check us out online. Follow us everywhere, Black Arts Education, and we'll see you soon.
I actually want to go ahead and take that part.
I was like, oh, we can throw some tea on that.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's common knowledge. I mean,